Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for another YouTube, Facebook Live. So today's topic is all about non-standard measurement. So a friend of mine messaged me on Facebook and said, "Hey, Hacker, I am going to have a observation and I need a kick butt fun activity, so will you help me plan it?" And of course I was like, oh yeah, I'm so for this. And it was so inspiring, and I just really got into this and I couldn't contain myself. I had to do a Facebook Live on this. Hi Pam, welcome. And it's all about my new non-standard measurement resource. And it includes 2 anchor charts that you see that are behind me. It includes hands-on, small group activity, whole group activity. I'm going to be showing you how I built my kit and what manipulatives I'm going to use, and hopefully give you some kind of inspired and have fun with this fun activity. Or maybe you are inspired in your own classroom and you think of something else to use this for. So thank you for joining me. My name is Carolyn. You can also find me on TPT under Carolyn's Creative Classrooms. I also have a YouTube channel, and I'm a teacher blogger, so make sure that you're following me on all those platforms because you don't want to miss any fun freebies. You don't want to miss any giveaways. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And speaking of giveaways, so last week I had my kindergarten screening video and I asked you guys to follow my YouTube channel and make a comment. And I compiled them all together, and one lucky person is going to win a $25 TPT gift card today. Are you guys ready? Give me a like if you're ready to see who wins today's giveaway. I'm so excited. I love, 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 love Teachers Pay Teachers gift cards. I usually spend double, but hey, you ready? All right, shake it up. And as you can see, I had quite a bit of people that liked it and commented and subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe. All right, you ready for a winner? Here we go. Not looking. And the winner is Keisha Bullard. She says, I love this assessment. So make sure that you email me at carolinscreativeclassrooms@gmail.com, and I'll be sure to give you that TPT gift card code. Congratulations, happy spending. Spend it in my store. Just kidding. All right, so let's get started. If this is the first time you're watching, thank you for tuning in. If you've seen my episodes, this is about your 3rd, 4th one. Thank you for returning, and let's get started. So when she asked me to make this, at first she's like, hey, I need maybe like a small group, maybe even a smartboard activity, and I ran with this. So I first began with anchor charts, because usually when I introduce something, I like to have an anchor chart that the students can refer back to, especially my ELL students. I like that they have the pictures that they can refer throughout the entire lesson, and that it's clean, and it's always student driven as well. So I know if you're looking behind me, you're thinking, gosh, that looks so pretty. How is that student driven? And trust me, I'm going to show you how it is. So when I first made this anchor chart, the only thing that I had was non-standard and standard there. But for the purposes of this video, I put it all together so that you could see what it looks like. So I laminated the entire anchor chart, and then I printed the cards. Hi, Lauren, welcome. And I printed the cards and laminated them. And then I added Velcro to the back of the cards. So when I'm introducing this, I since I have 12 cards, I probably would have them be paired off, and maybe I would do like a Kagan partnership and then do a turn-in talk. What do you think? Is it non-standard or is it standard measurement? And then you can kind of see which ones get it and which ones need more help, and you're introducing it, and then you sort it together. And on the bottom of the anchor chart, you can see there's actually space below it. So this is where I would have the students draw pictures. Now, I told you it's already laminated, so they can write expo markers on the anchor chart, and then when you're all done, you put the anchor chart away, you can erase it with a magic eraser. So this could be used over and over again, and it's a fun activity, hands-on, and the kids are included in it, so they have that ownership, but also it's pretty because I like everything pretty. And the 3 rules. Now, I know kindergarten, they have a hard time with lining things up. So part of the rules is that there's no gaps, or they're not overlapping each other, starting at the edge of it and not maybe in the middle or at the end, it not measuring all the way. And the object has to be the same. I can't tell you how many times they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to measure it with 1 paper clip here, and I want to measure it with 1 manipulative here, and they have different manipulatives. And so I really talk about how it has to be exactly the same. And if you notice, I have a thumbs up and a thumbs down so that they can see these are counting bears. And then this has counting bears and shapes and cubes, and it just gives a thumbs down, so like it's great for your ELL kids, and so they can reference it. And then there's a finger pointing to the edge, and you can see here that there's gaps, and then there's no gaps, so it's perfect for the kids to be able to refer back to this. So I'll begin with my anchor chart, and then I have a smartboard lesson, and we always talk about the you do, so you as a teacher started off, then the you do, so that the students are doing it, but you're helping them, and then the I do, where the students do it independently by themselves. So I would have my smartboard lesson going. I would physically move one over and show them how I line it up, how I leave no gaps, and then I would have the students come up to the smartboard, and then I'd have them move it over. So now you're releasing that and giving them more ownership in it. And then at the end of it, I would have the you do. And that's the small hands-on group that I'm going to show you in a few minutes what it looks like. And those are the bug cards. And the students can use different manipulatives, which is, I'll show you here how I organized it. And I would probably do it either a whole group, but they're smaller inside of their, contained into their groups. Or you can have it in a math center in a small group as well. So you can really differentiate depending on where your students are coming from and what you would like to do. So this activity is very giving. Also introducing it, something that I thought was really fun. We always, when we have our monthly themes, you might have, oh, well, how many princesses am I? Or how many, when we did snowmen, we did how many snowmen tall am I? So when I thought of spring, I thought of our bugs. And some of the boys would be interested because, you know, it's not just such a girly topic, but believe it or not, the girls really got into it too. So I would line up these bugs from the bottom all the way up, because they really like to see how tall the teacher is too. So if you get them involved in this, they absolutely love it. It's a hands-on, fun activity. And there's recording sheets that go with it as well. I'll show you in a little bit. And I would probably have this in the door or something that you can go all the way down to the floor and up. So when I had first done it with my whiteboards, the whiteboard would kind of get away and it didn't really make the perfect match, so I would find something like a wall that you can put it all the way up. And they measure, and it gets them excited about what they're going to be learning. And non-standard measurement has room for so much fun activities for the kiddos. So you ready to get started? All right. So I have to admit, I am probably not the best organized, and you can ask my teacher BFF, and she's helped me along the ways, and now I'm pretty much OCD about it. So I have included it inside of a storage kit, and I put the cover of my TPT resource on here so that I can see what's included, and it reminds me of what activity it is. And I like that it locks, so it's easy to put it away, and you can also stack on top of it. I got this at Target, but I'm sure you can find it at any craft stores. So everything included in this is in color, and it's also in black and white. So in addition to your non-standard and standard measurement, you will have cards. So you'll have the height, you'll have the length, anchor charts, but you can also have these posters. So it comes in color, and it also comes in black and white. I would probably let the kids color these and then send them home as references for like the parents to see, and the kids always like to color. Now included in here, I like to have everything sorted, so I put them inside of Ziploc bags just because that's easier for me, so I can pull out whichever activity I'm doing and what I want, and they're all in there nice and neat. So the small things are cut out, my recording sheets are all in one area, so it's easy for me to just pull and go. So with each activity, there's an I can poster. You want this to be independent so that students know exactly what to do, what the expectations are, what does it look like, and then there's pictures for your ELL kids. So the bug unit, you can see here, it says I will put the bug cards on the wall. Now you can say, listen, boys and girls, see, Miss Hacker's already done that for you. Now you're going to stand against the wall and you're going to measure. And then the exact recording sheet, what it looks like, is on the I can statement, so they know which one to pull from. So if you have multiple resources already out, they already know what to pull. So it's easier for them. And then I told you about the bug cards, and then I made height, and then I made the width. So I make my I can, if I'm going to combine them together, front to back, because it's the same activity, just is a little bit different. Another activity is where they get to go around the classroom measuring, and I give you non-standard measurement cards that you can measure by, and then you also get the recording sheet. So these are what the cards look like, and then they get to pick which measuring tape that they want. And it's perfect because you can see here the caterpillars are longer than the butterflies, and so it really, they get to see the smaller the manipulative I use, the more of them I'm going to have to use to measure. So you will get all of the I can statements and the posters. There are 20 length cards and 20 height cards, and I have them labeled. So you can see here it says 10, and you can see right here is the line, so they know which one that they're measuring. So you can see the difference. Whoops, wrong one. So you have tons and tons and tons of cards. So up to you on how your students are. Can they handle 40 cards in measuring? Can they only handle 10 cards? So you really can pull for where your students are, and they still get that hands-on practice, and they're still doing the same activity. So those are my bug cards, and you can see where I have put them all inside of one Ziploc bag, so it's easy to pull from. You will get the bug cards to be able to put up to measure. And like I said, what is color, you also get in black and white. So you get your sign in black and white, and then you also get your bug cards in black and white. And the activity to go around the classroom, which is super fun. You have 2 of the ones that are long and 2 of them the height. So you have your butterflies and you have your flies. So they get to pick which one that they want to use. And then you have bees. And then you have caterpillars. Whoops. And you can see where the caterpillars are longer than the bees. So where it takes only 2 caterpillars, it takes 4 bees. So it's a really good visual for those kids. And they can walk around the classroom measuring different items. Now, I set out on my recording sheet for certain items, but if you wanted to add more, you could. And you also could do like a whiteboard. Have them go around the classroom, draw out what they measured. It's a perfect way for them to show what they've learned. So here is the recording sheet when they had to measure themselves with the bugs. So you can see here, they would draw. So if they're 10 bugs high, they'd have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 10, and then stop there. And so that's a perfect way to assess the students, whether they're getting it, whether they're counting. And then they write how many bugs tall they are. And I know it's hard to see with the lighting there, but there's an actual example of what it should look like. So I have a little person that's already drawn there, so your ELLs know exactly what to do. Or if they forget, they have something to look off. So you have your length. I give you 2. And I personally would make them front to back, but if you wanted, like, okay, you guys do 1 through 10, you guys do 11 through 20, easily you could differentiate that. And then you have 2 for the height, which is the same exact thing. And it's the exact picture. So again, it's easy for your ELLs. And then your measure it. So this is where they get to walk around the classroom, and they're not just sitting down. This gets them up. So like that, right the room and those fun activities, this gets them moving around the classroom so they're not just sitting in their seat. So I'll zoom in a little bit closer so you can see there's pencils, there's chairs, there's markers, there's a smart board, or you could do a bulletin board, tables, and I tried to pick the most common things that you would have around your classroom, and there are 2 of them. And they go around the classroom and they measure, and then I have 4, you can see. So if let's say they finish the butterflies around the whole entire classroom. Okay, well now I want you to go get the bees. Can you measure how many bees the classroom is? So you could really differentiate and extend this activity for a little bit longer as well and still keep them engaged. So now that I showed you how I would put them all and organized inside of this bin, let me show you how I would hold all of my manipulatives. So I would have the manipulatives out. And here's why. You do not want them scrounging through different things in the classroom trying to measure, and that's going to disrupt you when you're pulling your math small groups. So for this purpose, I would have them already ready for the kids. But if you wanted them to investigate and try different manipulatives, I would just have a bunch out already ready for them. And this I found at Target. It's been a lifesaver, and it organizes everything that you need all in one. And this can be put right inside of your center tub too. So it's already clean, everything's put in there. So some of the different ones I have in here, now at Target you can find these, they look exactly like Legos for $1. So it's super cheap, easy, and then they still get to differentiate. Are you going to have more purple ones, or are you going to have more pink ones? Which one's going to have more to measure? You can use pom-poms. I found these at the craft store, so cute. They're like little rainbows. You can use the Target erasers. Target always has pretty cheap erasers. So there are some cat erasers. There was some pineapple erasers when I was just there. They even have some really cute 3D ones like fish and ice cream. So just making sure that you'll probably have to buy a couple of them, since most of those bigger Target erasers are not the same. So making sure that they follow that rule of it being exactly the same. So even though that this fish is still like this fish, they're still fish, but look, one's obviously way longer than the other, and they can't use the same exact one. You can also use, at craft stores, I know I always have these, the foam stickers. Now, I know sometimes you might have some kids that will pull the stickers off of them, but I just make sure that I teach that you just do not pull the stickers off of them when you used to have them for manipulatives. They even had really cute ladybug ones. And if you have some boys that just love cars, I mean, they could use the cars to measure. These gems, I use them in sensory bins. And depending on what month it is and what theme it is, I have them colored differently. So these are clear. And the reason that I chose clear is that if they go over the, let me pull it out. 1 second. If they go over the line, they can still see the line. So you can see here where the eye can. So they can still see the line as they're measuring, which is the reason why I chose the clear one. I even found these at Target, super cute. And you can say, how many legs are they long? How many legs are they height-wise? And for your fine motor, you can always pull out, I love tongs. Now, I found these at the dollar store. They're good. They probably last maybe a month, 2 months. But if you go online to Amazon, they have some really cool Amazon ones. They're more expensive, but they will last longer. But for fine motor, they have to pick up the little ones and then they have to measure. It really is amazing to see how much those kindergartners or even pre-Kers really grow using some of these. And let's say you didn't want to print them in color and laminate them in color. You can still use those bug cards. You could actually use those bingo dots. I know I use them in the beginning of the year to bingo dot like the letters and the numbers. You could actually use these to print them black and white, have them cut out, and they can bingo dot how many dots they are. So you really have many options to measure, and you have many options on what manipulatives to use. So I'm going to ask you, what manipulative would you use? Comment below. Is it something that you've already done in your classroom that you would have used? Are there something that I haven't mentioned that you thought would be amazing to use for this resource? Comment below. And I will pick one person that comments below that I think is really creative, manipulative, that I would, that's perfect. I so would use that. And I'll pick a random winner out of all of those comments that I think are amazing. And somebody will win this resource, and I will send it to you on the next Facebook Live. So if you guys have any questions for me on like what's included or how would you do it, please, 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 please leave a comment below. And make sure you have subscribed, make sure you have liked, because you don't want to miss any giveaways. So congratulations to the winner who won this week, and I look forward to seeing a new winner next week. So thank you for joining me on my Facebook Live, or if you're catching me on YouTube, or if you're catching the replay of this on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing weekend, teachers. Enjoy your weekend. We're almost down to the wire. You guys, some of you only have a couple weeks, some of you have like 5 weeks, but you know, it's that downhill slope, guys. You're almost there. So thank you for tuning in. Have a fabulous Friday and an amazing weekend. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.